Welcome to Awesome Anti-Racism. And I want to talk about anti-racism today in a different way. We're going to maybe not get to our ABCs of anti-racism today, because I want to tell you about something, and that is Mothers of Black History. It is a 4-week storytelling program by me of Black history, totally from the women's perspective. So today, I am going to show how anti-racism takes another perspective in terms of the educational aspect and the value of education, the value of sharing knowledge of the great, rich Black history, which has been so long denied. I mean, even now in the 21st century, there are people who think that all Africans are poor and starving and can't help themselves, which is not true. Unfortunately, there is more Africans who are poor and struggle, but they have family, they have community, and they have a history that is over 3,000 years old. In fact, it goes further than that. And look at us in the United States. Our history is what? Not even yet, barely 500 years old. Not even that. As a country, as a United States, we didn't become the United States until 1700. So we're a baby nation. A baby nation. A baby nation that was conceived and formed by putting Black people down. By saying in its Constitution, we are not even fully human beings. And I still say that part of the Constitution needs to be taken out. Has it been removed? Ask your congressperson. I'm curious to know. And for those who may not know what I'm referring to, in the original Constitution, as they were negotiating how to write about freedom and individuality and keep human beings enslaved so they could make more money, there was a big contradiction, particularly with the leading person who was writing it, Thomas Jefferson. So what did they say? They said Black people, slaves, and I'm not even sure if it's slaves or Black people, but they were counted only as 3/5 of a human being. So, people wonder sometimes why Black people seem angry. We have a history in this country that has not yet acknowledged that its wealth was built on the back of our ancestors' free labor for almost 400 years when you count segregation. And you can count now what's happening, that of course the first who are let go are the lowest paid, not the most high paid. But those are discussions that are being carried out in the media every day. But how many of you know about Queen Ma'at-Kare? She was a Black female pharaoh in Egypt in the 18th dynasty. How many of you know about Queen Amina of Azira? She not only was a Hausa queen, she was a warrior. She led 20,000 troops into battle for 34 years. 34 years. No leader in the United States has lasted that long. And in fact, there have been few leaders in Africa who have not become despots or dictators to rule that long. But the tradition is that Amina was loved by the people because she went out and fought, and she brought back wealth and things the people needed. And then there is my favorite, the one I've known the longest, Queen Zynga. And she lived in what is now the country of Angola. And she ruled for 40 years. And what did she do? She protected her people, the Mbundu people, from being made slaves by the Portuguese. She negotiated with the Portuguese, and she led her country, even though in her culture, the Mbundu, they didn't like women holding positions of authority and leadership. But she did it. And it started when her brother, who at that time was the king, who had killed his father to gain the throne, he sent Zynga to negotiate with the Portuguese when the Portuguese wanted to have a peace treaty. And when she entered the room, the governor whom she was meeting with was sitting in a chair. And a few feet away from him was only a small rug, no chair. Zynga turned, didn't say a word, and one of her assistants walked and knelt on that rug, hands and knees, creating a chair for Zynga to negotiate as an equal. And she ruled for 40 years. She had to move from one state to another. She had to get different allies, make her former enemies her friends. But she did it. She took care of her people and helped free many captives from slavery and recruited spies from the Portuguese army. Now, tell me, why hasn't Hollywood made a movie about her? Or Amina? Or Queen Ma'at Kare? We have so many stories, so many heroes, so many wonderfully strong, adventurous black women. And we deserve to see their stories and hear them. And you can hear more stories of black women. The next stories will be of our black women here in the United States who helped others to freedom. Harriet Tubman wasn't the only woman. And I've got some good stories. You'll want to hear them. And if you can't find them, and if you need more information, you can always email Mrs. Payne, Payne, at racistcircle.info. That's races, RACES, circle, CIRCLE.info. Mrs. Payne at racistcircle.info to get more information on this month-long weekly Black History storytelling, Mothers of Black History.